Hey, ready? Can't show by then. All right. You'll be passing tomorrow?
I have dressed up today. You, he.
What would you want? Guyana.
All right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay, all right? All right.
Chairman, let me shorten a little from here.
Huh?
Shorten a little.
Sure.
Put it. You sit next to me. No, Lisa. Hey, come on, this shit. Excuse me. Halloween. Approach us already.
All the seats full, look, get one seat here. Comrades, good morning. First of all, let me acknowledge the presence of the Honorable Minister of Agriculture, Honorable Zulfikar Mustapha. Please welcome him here this morning. In our midst, we have the Regional Chairman, Mr. David Armagan. Please give him a... We also have our Regional Executive Officer, Mr. Narendra Prasad, who is here this morning. And Ms. Elizabeth Austin, she's a councillor of the Caracas Whitewater area. NDC Chair, NDC Vice Chair, councillors, Head of the RPA, Mr. Rambridge, Water Users, Head, both Blackbush, and 5274 Crabble Creek. Member of the media, ladies and gentlemen, let me say we are happy to be here this morning at this very, very important handing over of equipment in Region 6. In fact, several months ago, I think about a month and a half ago, Minister of Agriculture was here and he handed over several pieces of equipment to the region. I think it was 3 or 2 long boom excavators and several short boom excavators to use in the community. And we have noticed that the last heavy rainfall, there was actually no flooding in some of the communities, no flooding in the entire Region 6, to be very exact, in the community areas, because we have been doing work with the machine that was given to us several months ago in the various NDC areas. And those NDC who benefited, for example, we have Fort Ordnance, Canefield, and so forth, those areas were flood-prone areas, and they didn't have flood during the last season. So we should appreciate the work of the Ministry of Agriculture and the People's Progressive Party civic government under His Excellency, the President, Dr. Irfaan. I think the region has benefited tremendously, not only in the agriculture sector, but in every single sector of the region. And we should appreciate that in Region 6. And we should at least give a loud applause to the President, His Excellency, and the Cabinet for doing a wonderful job. So I will ask the Regional Chairman, who is the head of the region, to address us here this morning and to highlight you with some of the benefits that we have been getting in Region 6. Regional Chairman.
Thank you very much, Sessional Chairman, Honorable Minister of Agriculture, our own Comrade Zulfikar Mustapha, REO of Region 6, Mr. Narendra Prasad, Mrs. Elizabeth Austin, RPA President, Mr. Rambridge, Chairman, Vice Chairman, or Chairpersons, NDC, councillors, mayors and deputy mayors, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I am particularly pleased and happy to be here this morning for this very important ceremony. A ceremony which is intended to mark another chapter that will benefit the people of this region. As you know, over the last few years, our government has been making tremendous contribution to the development of Berbice. In every area of human development, whether it's infrastructure, whether it's agriculture, whether it's forestry, whatever area it is, whether it's education, whether it's in health, in every single area of human endeavor, our government has been making important inputs to ensure that we improve in all these various sectors. And today we can stand proud and say that the interjection and the investment the government has been making in this region is making people much happier today than they were previous to the last 4 years. And please give His Excellency the President of Guyana and the government of Guyana. We know that one of the problems that we encounter in this region has been some amount of flooding when there is excessive rainfall. And that has been so because our drainage problems have been compounded by the fact that we do not have enough machines to dig the internal drains in the NDCs and the municipalities. As a result of which, once you have more than 2 inches of rainfall in a 24-hour period, what you find is that there is going to be some amount of flooding in these areas, especially when the drainage system is blocked. Government recognizing this problem, and the government has recognized this problem for quite some time. They have been making interjection from time to time to ensure that they send machines to the region. And we are hiring machines too sometimes to ensure that we can clear the drainage system. And so once that has happened, we find that the water gets out very quickly from the land, and there is no amount of flooding for any prolonged period of time. Now, with these machines that you see here today, this will go a very, very far way in ensuring that you can take care of flooding in our NDCs and in our municipalities. The NDCs have always been crying out that they don't have equipment. They've always been crying out that we only try, when the rain is coming, then we try to dig out the drains. But once there is a paucity of machines, you will always find that happening. And so the government has made a commitment that we have 22 local democratic organs within this region, 19 NDCs, and 3 municipalities. They have made a commitment to ensure that every single one of these local government organs receive a machine to ensure that they can do work in their respective areas to make sure that flooding is avoided whenever you have rainfall. And this is very important because when flooding takes place, the residents lose. The NDCs get a bad name, and the government, of course, takes the blame. But with what is happening today, we will find that the people will be happier. More people, you find, will have flooding being avoided in most of these areas. But one of the things that we have got to do as NDCs and municipalities is to ensure that we clear these machines. This is one of the problems we've been having with some of the machines that were sent earlier. People tend to not pay enough attention to these machines. And some of the operators too that we hire are sometimes reckless, and the machines are destroyed. So it is very important. These machines cost a lot of money. I don't know the exact figure, but I'm sure that it costs a lot of money to bring these machines to the region. And so it is very important that due care and attention be paid to ensure that we can take care of these machines so that it will last a long time. And these machines must be serviced at appropriate time, at service time. Because one of the things we also find too is that we work these machines and we do not service these machines. So a logbook must be open for each one of these machines to ensure that every morning the checks are made for water, for lube oil, and other checks to ensure that the machine is in working order before the operator jumps on and starts to work the machine. So all these things are very important, because no use you get brand new machines and it lasts us less than a year. Some NDCs have purchased machines on their own. I know the Tropical NDC is in the process of buying machines too. So they will have now 2 machines. So they will have one here from the government and the one that they are buying, which is they have approval to buy. So they will have 2 machines. And some NDCs already have machines. So these machines, so at the end of this, before the end of this year, or before the end of this period, rather, all the NDCs and all the municipalities will be fully equipped with machines to ensure that they can avoid flooding in these respective areas. We know that climate change and all these other vagaries that come with climate change, we cannot predict the weather very comfortably these days, very accurately these days. And so sometimes when you expect sunshine, you get rainfall. But once we are prepared and have these machines and we are prepared, at any time, we must be able to work these machines to ensure that we clear the drainage system all the time, to make sure that all the drainage systems are clear. And so today, we are all happy to be here. We are all happy to collect our machines. We are all happy to make sure that we can go back to the communities, our respective communities, and tell the people that the government is now trying once and for all to solve the problem of flooding in the NDCs and the municipalities. This is the aim of the government of Guyana. And so we will continue to work with you, not only in agriculture and drainage and irrigation, but we will continue to work with you in every aspect of human development, so that Guyana and our various places that we live in will be more comfortable. And we can all say at the end of the day that the PPP government has brought tremendous progress to Guyana, and the PPP government will continue to bring progress to Guyana. Make sure that you bring out every single person to vote in this election, and we will win a 2/3 majority this time in the National Assembly. So today, all we want to say to the Minister of Agriculture is to take back to His Excellency, the President of Guyana, how grateful we are for this intervention, and to please guarantee him that we will clear these machines and we will work these machines in the best interest of the people of Guyana and the people of this region. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Regional Chairman. Let me say that we must acknowledge that since 2020 to now, we might not have everything we wanted, but we are better off under the People's Progressive Party government. Basically. So, I now would like to introduce a very important person, a person who have Region 6 at heart. In fact, for the last 4 years or 4.5 years in government, the Honorable Minister of Agriculture frequently or on a regular basis come to Berbice to reach with farmers, to reach with residents, to ensure that the lives of farmers are better. And sometimes when we look at some of the activity and some of the response of the farmers, it's yet to be desired. Sometimes I just be shocked when some people stand up to say that, you know, we don't see the Minister of Agriculture. the man who does be in this region actually every single week in this region, in some community. So we have to dispel those rumors, and we have to remember people, because sometimes people forget so much, right? So let us welcome the Honorable Minister of Agriculture, who will do the feature address with us this morning.
Morning. So, Regional Chairman and other members of the head table, the RPA President, REO, Mr. Austin, Chairman of NDIA, Chairpersons and Vice Chairpersons of NDCs and farmers, everybody who are here. I'm happy to be here this morning. I will not be too long. But as the Regional Chairman said, that we are trying today in this region to have 22 local authority bodies, 3 municipalities, and 19 NDCs. We are trying to, as much as possible, to equip these local bodies with the necessary equipment so that they can carry out their responsibilities. Because when we went as a party to the local government elections, we said that certain areas within the NDC will improve generally the performance of these bodies. Now, central government has a function, and the local authority has their own function. And the local authority derives their revenue from rates and taxes, from subventions from central government, and also through central government funding in various areas. And over the years, we have seen that subvention to the local authority bodies have increased tremendously. Government has been making these subventions more in a larger and more effective way to these bodies. We have also seen that we have not, as a government, sanctioned any increase in rates and taxes or new fees. So since the last local government election, I don't think that there was any increase, or there should have never been any increase with fees and rates and taxes. So that we are doing. However, we are seeing that these bodies that are being controlled by the opposition, we have seen recently, only last Thursday, the Vice President spoke about the municipality of Georgetown, where they wanted to increase or revalue people's property. And he said in one certain term that this government, the PPP civic government, will not sanction any increase in rates and taxes and new fees. Because these are additional burdens on the backs of the people. And we as a government, we always try to bring relief to the people. And we can look back from 4 years ago where we were and where we are today. And let us measure what has happened over the last 4 years. We have seen a total transformation of our country landscape. In every facet of life, be it education, health, housing, public infrastructure, agriculture, you name it. And I can go and list all the progress we have made in these areas. And as the Vice Chairman rightly said, as a people we must recognize the government role in bringing these relief to the people of our country. Let us look at health. You may have encountered problem, yes, at the New Amsterdam Hospital where we have tried to fix it and get things in order. But what we are doing, we are trying to ensure that we improve. We are getting 2 brand new hospitals in Region 6. One at number 75 and a state-of-the-art hospital in New Amsterdam. A hospital that will bring all the services that when you go to Georgetown, you'll get it right here in New Amsterdam. And we are building 6 of those new hospitals across the country. We are rehabilitating a number of new hospitals around the country in various regions of the country. We are trying as much as possible because when you look at health, for example, you live in the interior, you live in the deep south in Region 9, you live in Region 1 like the Whitewater area, or you live in the furthest part in our country, we have now implemented telemedicine, where patients in those areas can enjoy the same kind of treatment that people are receiving on the coast. The first country, I think, in the Caribbean has done that in implementing telemedicine, where in the far-flung area in our country, we are seeing these things happening. So we will continue to see improvement in our health sector. Look at the education sector, where we are today. When we got into government, you all remember in 2014, when we implemented the cash grant. At that time, they were saying that we were in government and we wanted to remain in government because elections was due in 2015. So election came in 2015. We had implemented the cash grant in 2015, the school children cash grant, because we care, in 2014. And we said that will be a continuous process. Elections came in 2015 and the PPP Civic came out of office. The APNU AFC got into office. And what they did, they stopped it. They said they don't have money to continue that grant. Whilst we were in opposition, we said that when we get back into government, we will implement or re-implement that grant. And we got back into government in 2020 August. And we haven't only re-implemented the grant, we have extended the grant to public school and to private school children too. So every child that attends public or private school are receiving the cash grant. But we have only restarted it. We have increased it incrementally. And this year, every child that attends school will receive $55,000 from the government of Guyana. From $10,000 to $55,000. When we started out in 2020 August, when we got into government, that was in the midst of the COVID crisis, the pandemic in our country. We started out, although the funds were not available, we tried and we made the funds available so that people could have received a small cash grant of $25,000. Every household in our country during that period of time received a cash grant of $25,000. We have seen how many cash grants we have paid out to fishermen in this country, to farmers. In 2021, we suffered one of the most devastating floods in the history of our country. And thousands of farmers would have received cash grants in our country. I heard a lady in Blackbush Polder said only 12 acres she received. I don't know how much money, but she's at $500,000. Imagine this lady saying that she received $500,000 from the government of Guyana and she didn't satisfy with it. So I asked the DRDB to check for me. And when they checked, I got it here, I can make it available. The lady's husband signed for $2 million she collected from the government as cash grant to me. $2 million. That's the kind of misrepresentation. Right? That's the kind of misrepresentation. So these are the things the government always tries. Remember, the sugar workers, the 4 sugar estate that was closed in this region, Rosal and Kelvin, workers were placed on the breadline. We had to fight for the servants' pay. And when we had to go to court, the government was saying then that they can't pay out all the money one time, that they must spend out the money. The workers' money, they are telling them. So we fought and we got the money for them. But when we got back into office, we paid a one-off cash grant to sugar workers. All the sugar workers who were severed receive a cash grant from this government. We pay a cash grant to the fisher folks in our country. We pay a cash grant to farmers when they were flooded out. Livestock farmers, cash crop farmers, rice farmers, so that they could go back on the land. That is the vision of our government, because the government, although we are an oil and gas country and we are producing oil and gas, a government that does not invest in agriculture is not worth its salt, because agriculture is here to stay. Oil and gas will finish sometime. That is why we are spending money to develop the agriculture sector in our country. We are working with the farmers. We are making funds available. So today when we give out these machinery to the region, it will not only serve the purpose of internal drainage in the community, but when your drainage system is in order, because the cultivation water also has to pass through the residential area. And when you have effective drainage system, it will help both in the residential area and it will help water coming out from the cultivation area. When you look at the public infrastructure, you look around, and many of you who are here this morning would have gotten roads to build under the Ministry of Public Works. Hundreds of roads are built in your region, and thousands across the country. In every single community you go, we are developing the infrastructure, building proper roads for people to walk on. And that will continue. That will continue if we go in all the 21 or 22 LAA areas, the local authority areas in Region 6, have a number of community roads. You probably barely have more dams now, or a few more dams within these communities. That's the kind of transformation we're talking about. Look at the housing sector. Thousands of house lots we have given out to the people of this country. Almost 35,000 house lots or more, for almost 40,000 house lots. We are building new housing schemes. We are working with the young professionals to give them home, working with the bank. So all these things, all these developments are taking place in our country. Well, that is happening in the agriculture sector. We are seeing a revolution. Today, Guyana is poised to be, or is already the leader in agriculture in the region. At one time when I became Minister of Agriculture, Guyana had lost its place in CARICOM. Since the formation of CARICOM, Guyana always speaks on agriculture and lead on agriculture and food security. From 2015 to 2020, we had lost that place. It was taken up by St. Vincent and the Grenadines because the farmer government never put any effort and emphasis on agriculture. You all remember when they were campaigning for the election, they said they would give farmers $9,000 a bag for the paddy price. In 2019, 2017 or 2019, went down as low as $2,100. As low as $2,100. The president at that time said rice growing is a private business. The farmers were left on their own. And today, once again, we are seeing the agriculture sector thriving. We are seeing the investment move from $13.5 billion in 2020 to $104.6 billion in 2025. That's the kind of investment we are making. We are seeing in every area, traditional area, rice, other crops, the livestock sector, we are seeing growth. Last year, the livestock sector grew by 24%. 24% it grew by. Dr. Walron is right around here. You can ask him what we are doing. We have implemented new measures in this country. We have expanded our artificial insemination program. We are building new pasture land. We are working with cattle farmers to increase their breed of cattle. We brought in to Guyana from Texas last year 73 breeding bulls that we give to various farmers across the country so that they can increase their breeding stock. We have started a new program called embryo transplant. We have a company from Brazil that are working with us to transform the embryo into the cattle so that we can have good breed of cattle. We have built one of the most state-of-the-art abattoir right at MOA. We are looking now to distinguish between beef cattle and cattle for beef and cattle for dairy. We are getting dairy plants being built in our country. One have already been built at Region 5. We are seeing now DDL is working to build another one in Moblissa and the Linden-Soesdijk Highway, a $20 million investment that we'll have. Guyana will produce its own milk. We are working in the agriculture sector. We have seen what we have done in the poultry sector, leaving out the broilers that we have been affected by with the IBH disease that we have had. Government has injected over $30 million to help the farmers to buy vaccine for this disease. We have brought in a scientist in the country together with the Poultry Association, where we have produced for the first time in Guyana over 30 million doses of vaccine for the IDH disease. And we today are working very closely to set up a vaccine producing plant in Guyana so that we can produce all our vaccine. Dr. Waldron and a team is working very diligently now. Only last week I met with them, with the private sector. After the oil and gas conference, we had a meeting at the Marriott, and we decided that from next month, we will start to get all the vaccine in Guyana while we are preparing and building the lab at the GLDA area in Manripo so that we can produce our vaccine. Those are the kind of development that we are talking about. Right here in Region 6, as the regional chairman said, that this area, an agriculture area, where we are seeing sometimes flooding taking place. Only last few days ago, we have seen some area in Blackbush in the cultivation area where we had high water level, and the water had to depend on the drainage first of all through the residential area. We are working and we have started the construction. We have already built the embankment for the Hope Light Canal from number 66 to Kanji. And we are working now to start the construction of 2 Hope Light Canals, one at numbers 52, 51, 52, and another one in the Manchester area. So those high-level canals can drain the water directly from the backland right onto the Atlantic without putting the stress in the cultivation and residential drainage in our area here. So almost $26 billion is being expended to construct Hope Light canals in region 3, 5, and 6. We have seen young people today, droves of young people getting involved in agriculture. Young people never want to get involved, although they have been going to the Guyana School of Agriculture, the University of Guyana, and they took up agriculture as a subject. They don't want to get involved in agriculture before. We have created a company called the Agriculture Innovation Entrepreneurship Program, where we are seeing now it has over 500 young people who are shareholders in that company. We have the largest hydroponic farm in the Caribbean at Manripo. Any one time, we can produce 100,000 plants left anytime at that farm at Manripo. We are building out 3 other of those farms, one in region 2, 5, and 10, where we will have the same amount of plantlets anytime. So these are the new things that we are preparing for. We are seeing new opportunities in our country. The oil and gas sector has caused us to open up a lot of opportunities for farmers in our country. And we have to take advantage of these opportunities coming your way. We have seen the hospitality industry being expanded. They need things like that they are using. For example, in 2021, we imported almost $2.6 billion in these crops: broccoli, cauliflower, carrot, lettuce, bell pepper. Now, with the shade house program that we started, we have built over 600 shade houses across the country. We are producing large-scale crops like these that I spoke about just now. And we are now producing it. And the young people are producing it for the hospitality industry. Those are the innovations that we are talking about. So, comrades and friends, as I said, I might be a little more biased for agriculture, but in every single sector, we have seen tremendous development taking place. And I want to tell you this here today, that for the first time in the history of our country, we have seen a government that made the promises that the party made to the electorate in 2020, we have delivered on all the promises we have made to the people. For the first time, we are doing new things now. New things, for example, the Palmyra project, like the stadium that we are building at Palmyra. That was not in our program, but that is a new project for us. The 10-day walk was not in our program. There are new things for us. You understand? So, for example, your region is being modernized. Region 6 is being modernized. You have to go to the Providence to witness Class cricket, CPL matches. CPL matches next year, we'll have CPL matches right here in Berbice. Right here in your doorstep in Berbice. Because we have a stadium on par with the Providence Stadium. Those are the developments we're talking about. We are seeing the roadway being expanded. We are making a 4-lane highway on this Corentyne road. You've already seen the bridges then start to be expanded. We'll be building the Corentyne River Bridge that will open up the Berbice area for a whole lot of investment. We are working to look at the Deepwater Harbor, the entire Palmyra area there. We are building facilities there. So Region 6 has been earmarked, or we have started the modernization of this region. We have reopened the Rosal estate. Thousands of sugar workers have gotten back their jobs. We are seeing now Kanji. Kanji at one time when they closed down the sugar estate, those who from Kanji can tell you now, Kanji was left as a ghost town. People have to left Kanji and go out of the area to seek employment. Today, we are seeing the economic activity once again in Kanji. We are seeing the livelihood being promoted in Kanji once again. And Kanji is an area that has gotten back life from the BB government. So today I'm happy that we are here now to hand over 8 mini machines here to the region. And we are not, and let me be frank, the chairman probably I didn't discuss with him. And Lionel, who is the chairman of NDI, will tell you just now the operation. But I want just to tell you that the NDI will continue to operate these machines. You don't have the capacity to pay the operator or fuel the machine. So the NDI will pay the operator and they will fuel the machine. We will be working with a program. So the NDC responsibility will be to submit a program to supervise the machine and ensure that the work is done to standard. The machine will be operated and controlled by the NDI. Because many times we come in these communities and we give machine to people, NDCs. We hear a machine going to that man yard and do work and that person place and do work. We don't want that to happen. These are the machines. These machines must be used to the benefit of the community, the NDC. Every single person must have the facility here. And last Thursday, if you listen to the Vice President, he said in his press conference, by the end of this year, every single NDC will have a machine, our local authority body, not only NDC, municipalities too, will have a mini machine. The President has instructed me to ensure that the NDI procure these machines and give to or ensure that the NDC get the facility and use it. So both the President, His Excellency the President, and the Vice President, they have instructed and spoke to me and tell me that we have to ensure. So the Vice President said last Thursday by the end of this year. And imagine the responsiveness of the government. We are only 2 days away, or 2 days after he has spoken. And every single local authority bodies in Region 6, at the end of today, will have the facility of a machine like this across Region 6. So we have seen Region 3, Region 4, Region 5, Region 6. We will be working Region 2 and Region 3 and the other regions to ensure that all the local authority bodies receive these machines. So I'm hoping by the end of March, April, we can have machines like these across this country. This will empower you as the NDC's official. You are the first link with the people in the community. When people come to the NDC office, you must be responsive to the needs. You must be responsive to the needs. And you all must ensure that you work as chairman and councillor in the interest of the community. I understand also some NDCs, the overseer, have taken over all the roles. Well, we have to change that. The overseer and the officers, they are the paid person within the NDC. They have to carry out the decisions of the NDC. They have to ensure that the decision of the NDC, they carry out. So at the statutory meeting, the council make decisions, and between meetings, the chairman ensure that these decisions are carried out. And he or she report back at the statutory meeting of the NDC. I hope that is happening in this community, in this region. And we have to work to ensure that happens. We have to ensure that the NDC work along in the best interests of the community. And that is why central government, the PPP civic government, is making these facilities available to you. I hope that you use it to the benefit of the community. I hope that you use it where the entire community will benefit, will improve the drainage and the internal drainage system. Whenever I come back or the president comes, we will not have complaints. So from next week, I am hoping that NDIA will receive a program and we'll start the work immediately. I'll instruct Lionel to get operators for these machines. I know through the industrial training program, the BIP, the BIP program, the BIP program through the Ministry of Labor, they have trained a number of heavy-duty operators. We can use those persons within the community to operate this machinery, and they will get paid through NDIA. So I am happy, ladies and gentlemen, to be here today. As a person from Region 6, I am not being biased here, but this here will help tremendously in the execution of your duty and the development of your community. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Minister, for outlining what is happening in the government and in every single area of this country. We will ask the chairman of the NDIA, Mr. Lionel Wordsworth, and he will outline the operation of these machines. Let's welcome the Lionel.
Good morning, Honorable Minister, Regional Chair, Vice Chair, REO, Director of NDI Board, Mr. Rambridge, other colleagues and residents. As Minister alluded to earlier, these equipment will be deployed. I think there are 19 NDCs and 3 municipalities in Region 6. They will be deployed in every area of the LA and the municipality, and the operation of it, the operator, the serviceman, the provision of fuel, lubricants, any servicing and repairs will be done by the NDIA. But the work that these equipment will undertake will come from a program that the NDC will develop, and I hope with consultation, of course, with residents in the area, make it available to us, and we will implement those works. Importantly, these equipment we procure them with a rubberized track, so it gives us the flexibility to traverse along roadways without affecting damage to it, and along earthen dams as well. So it gives us the capacity that we can clean a number of drains, and also in some of the areas, it will be necessary that the excavators spoil, we don't leave them along the roadway. That also, we will put resources to have them removed. So, under our operation guidance and collaboration with the RDC, this is the model we are adopting, which is successfully done in, as Minister said, in other regions where we have this program ongoing. And just to highlight quickly also, while we have these equipment undertaking work in many of the communities, we also have on public tender 4 projects where in one of the municipalities these concrete line drains will be manually cleaned out, and some of the culverts. So collectively, all the internal drains in communities, we want to upgrade them and keep them in a state of readiness, because a lot of the emphasis investment also is towards the main drains, rebuilding pump stations, we're doing the whole flight canals, we're building sluices, so it's important that we have the entire network up and running. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Chairman of the NDIA Board, Mr. Leonard Wadsworth. I think all the NDC Chair and Vice Chair and Councillor who are here should understand what is the intention of the Ministry of Agriculture and to ensure that those things that was outlined here by Lionel and the Minister should be implemented in every single NDC, because you know sometimes we give machines and you hear what the Minister says. It's doing totally different things from the program. So some NDC already have machines in the area, they're working aggressively, and some now will be receiving these machines. So once again, on behalf of the Regional Democratic Council, Region number 6, on behalf of all the NDCs and municipality, we would like to extend gratitude to the Minister of Agriculture for giving us this opportunity to serve the people, and also the President of the country of Guyana, His Excellency Dr. Mohamed Irfaan, for giving us these machines so that we can be able to serve the people. And you know that the NDC is very important in the political structure so that we can be able to have maximum votes in our direction. So once again, thanks to the government, thanks to the Minister, thanks to His Excellency, thanks to the Vice President, and thanks to you for coming out here this afternoon. I will ask the Elizabeth Austin, who will give us the vote of thanks and close the program. Elizabeth.
Good day, everyone. Honorable Minister, distinguished guests, members of the Liberal Democratic Council of Region 6, fellow Guyanese. On behalf of Region 6 Liberal Democratic Council, I stand here with a heart full of gratitude and appreciation for these mini-excavators that are being given to us, that are being presented to us by the Minister of Agriculture. With great joy and acceptance of these excavators, I graciously will thank the government of Guyana for supporting the development of our communities across this region. These excavators will present more than just machineries. These are symbols of commitment to progress, unity, and empowerment. The government of Guyana has once again demonstrated its dedication to enhance equality. It has dedications and enhancing the qualities of life for all of us in this region. These excavators are not only improving infrastructure, but are also creating opportunities and growth and development for the benefits of the residents of this region in years to come. We want to thank the government of Guyana for its continued support in recognizing the importance and empowerment of local governments throughout the communities. This generous gesture will undoubtedly contribute to the well-being of every citizen of Region 6, fostering the spirit of collaboration and shared progress. As we move forward, let us work together in unity let us work together in unity to ensure that these resources are used to the fullest potential. Let us remind ourselves that we can achieve we can achieve when we work together for the common goal in collaboration with the government of Guyana. Once again, I want to say thanks to the government of Guyana, to our president for this generous gift, and to the minister for presenting it to us. Together, we will work continuously for a brighter Guyana and for more progress to the future of this region. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Elizabeth. Now we'll turn our attention to the cutting of the ribbon. The minister will make his way to the machines, so make sure we cut the ribbons. We will ask the NDC for NDC to be at one of the machines, so the minister can take the photo up with the various machines with the different NDCs, because at least 15 NDCs will be in receipts of machine permanently in the area. Thank you.
Packaging plan, arrangement that you all have put in place.
Yeah, we go take the
And it come this side, we have to wait.
So all the councillors, all the NDC chair come over.
Guys, please unblock the cameras.
Oh, sorry.
Hello.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I got shift. Go on the other side there.
Yeah, but it's
Excuse me, you got to step back. You know, come back in this line. You can't go forward.
Look. David. Are you chairman?
Everybody go in.
Hello.
This for the region, right? The entire all day. Everyone will have one now. You place them, you put number on it. So number one will be in the ecology. Number two, and we're going to buy number. Good line now? You already numbered it? Good. All right. So on behalf of the NDIA, I will hand over this to the region. The NDIA will still operate it, control,
supervise it, service it, and ensure the fueling. We are also going to work along with the
We buy you a NDC buy you. You will get it. You will proceed to the